Welcome to African Media Australia. I'm Claude Sharati, and I have with me today Dr. William Abur, who's a social researcher, and we'll talk to him about some of the issues that are happening in the African communities in general and the South Sudanese community in particular. How are you today, Dr. William?
Oh, thank you. I'm well. How
All
are you
right.
doing?
Good, good. Thank you for your time to African Media Australia. Uh, I want to talk today about some of the social issues that are happening, and specifically the issue of gambling
Yeah.
that is not only prevalent in the wider mainstream Australian society, but it's also affecting multicultural communities in general and African and South Sudanese community in particular.
Yeah.
What's your take on that?
Look, it's first thing that I wanted to say thank you. This is something that need to be discussed and something that awareness need to be raised within the community because it is quite concerning. It is quite concerning for the community, for the family that don't have enough money to support themselves to go and participate in the gambling is really a serious issue. And as a social worker who work in the community, and I've seen some of the serious issues that where young people were not being able, to be given the support that they need within the family because either mom or dad has went and used the little money that they get through the gambling, and that is quite concerning, and we need to admit and we need to discuss it within the community. So it's an issue that is new to the African community and to the South Sudanese community, but I think the community need to think and be careful about it.
How prevalent is this issue in the community?
Look, it is quite. I've lived in the inner city of Melbourne, and I have seen it in that area. You know, the high rise areas such as Collingwood, Richmond, and Fitzroy, and also North Melbourne as well as Flemington area. And I have seen it also in the west. You know, where we the toward the west, I have seen people participating in a gambling machine. So it's concern.
What is actually motivating people? What is pushing them to go to gamble? Is it because they want to obviously gain something?
It's just to gain, to win. So they hope that maybe one day or whatever opportunity I will be able to win.
Yeah.
And that is something that is motivating people. I guess if one person wins something, so the message will just go quickly in the community that that so and so just win a very good amount of money.
Yeah.
But people will write and say, "Oh, that would be opportunity for me. Let me just try, and
Yeah.
maybe I can also win." But they don't really get it that the loss, the amount of money that they are losing, and they don't really get it. And it's one in million whatever thousand times
For you to be able to win.
for you to
The
be
chances
able
are
to
very
win.
odd.
They are very odd,
Yeah.
and that is a trick of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, and then when people get into trouble, they don't seem to talk about it.
They don't because there is a taboo associating with it. So
Yes.
people don't really go and discuss it. So you would find somebody, you may lose your fortnight income that come. And you find yourself that, it is next Monday or whatever, and you find children, you're not able to buy something for the kid. And the only thing is to keep quiet with it. And sometimes you let children go to school without food, and that is that is concerning. And some school, I'm aware, some school sometimes they if the issue has been a child has been coming to school without proper food, sometimes the case will end up to the child protection. They can call Department of Human Services, and that is quite confronting sometimes when people come and investigate you.
Well, that's obviously is an issue. What is the best way to help people affected by gambling in the community, given that they don't want to talk about it? What would be the best way to assist and at least give them an opportunity to maybe see a counselor and stuff?
Yeah.
What would you suggest?
Look, I think the community need to embrace from different level, whether a family level, if you know somebody within your family that participate in those big machines, gambling or whatever, you need to be able to have a honest conversation with the person and say, look, this has been something that I have been seeing, and we really need to talk about it, and we need to find the solution. If you are not able to go and talk about it with with your friend that can support you or your family member, there are some private organizations that really deliver that support. It is a job. They are funded by government so that they can be able to support the community. So people need to go and have a chat with those organizations because it will be private conversation. So your concern will not be known in the community. So nobody's going to know. The organization is not going to discuss that with anybody. So I would encourage people really to to take the opportunity and to raise this issue and not to see it, oh, this is I want to sit with my problem. I don't want to go and discuss it with anybody.
Do you see the role of people like community leaders, youth leaders, and faith leaders
Yes.
in helping with this issue?
Yes, I think community leaders, youth leaders, faith leaders should be able to raise these issues in the forum, in the meeting, and they should highlight the difficulties of this and the challenging that the community is putting themselves, so that the community can be aware. So I guess the most important thing that we can do is to raise awareness within the community so that people can get the message. That it is something really that they are not benefiting, but they are losing. They are losing, and they only those the company is gaining, and they will be the losers.
Absolutely, and even young people are not actually immune to this. What's the best way to prevent these sort of things from happening from a community perspective?
Community education. So as I mentioned earlier, I think we should be able to raise to raise awareness through the community education. And I guess one thing that the community leaders and faith leaders can do, or youth leaders can do, is to encourage people and refer them to those non-governmental organizations that can support them, or invited those organizations to come and deliver the information session within the community so that the community can get the right message about the consequences of participating in those gambling machines.
Okay. Well, this is obviously an issue that needs to be looked at. It is emerging, and there's a need to, I suppose, raise awareness, as you said, educate the community on some of the risks, and empower people to be able, at least those who are already affected by this, to be able to take the action so that they can minimize the negative consequences of gambling in the community.
Yeah.
Perhaps can I ask you to say a message in your language to some of the people out there who may not necessarily be very fluent in English, to give a message about the need to be educated and to seek help when you are affected by gambling.
Yeah, we will tong monjang ten kai kwa that aning ning ko chia la bigala kat ken tokot ken ko ka lui na cha lui win, then you get something na ke lui win kalas ko will ko jal. So kachira ka arai community arai families ko arai community da ko we biran ben chan badial thing to then run when into within your family or your community. Louis gambling and kind of with support is a social issue, and that person will book on with support, and to be in supporting about damage in a private conversation. But again, go in can I can come you I will book it to get a bayala oika every day quachin kalaba yuksin. So piat ko pol or now we can love like jam we quite win can expertise in this field. I can be given coin menang tarika won le be in coin could be jam be lagin e kamo jen ko kamo pia den. So karai jen ala buka kwenin gulo karaje kick ko kwenin ka pia den ka kick, and then you come and but decision ba ja ben loy ba ja ben target ba bi ot chop wala ba pol en katoy dun won in a gambling winning Latin. Can in a way, but well, ten a kai kwa lona dien, can a correct families, correct society, kwato cho chating ran won chan ke ting sin within Melbourne tan kind of we balag we chan bag dede.
All right, that was in Dinka.
Yep,
All right.
that is a Dinka.
That's good for the Dinka community out there. I'm sure you got
For
the
Dinka
message.
community to get that message.
Absolutely, because I think we need to educate the community in all the languages. We can speak English, but sometimes these messages have to go to the language that people speak. So we do appreciate your time, Dr. William Abour, for coming to our studio and talking about this very important issue in the community.
Thank you.
We'll
Thank
continue
you.
to look for more opportunities again to discuss this in greater length.
Thank you so much. I'm happy. I'm happy to come in again to have to raise some of the social issues and raise awareness within the community.
All right. Until next time, folks, keep watching Africa Media Australia and comment and share this video through your network. Thank you very much.